for the circle. I think this is 14. I can't remember. I've lost count. I'm Rebecca Newton. I commandeered this holiday show from Danny Gotham some time ago, and I have something official to read. Speaking of which. So, I want to do some thanks right off the bat. Thanks to Peg Parham for working with me on these last two big shows. Look for more joint shows from Peg and myself in the non-COVID future. Livestream team Wild Ponies are Barb Ford on video, Dakota, you guys can clap and everything. Our audience of 8 is not, they're being a little shy. Dakota Stokes and Jonny Waken on cameras. Woo! Barry Tomlinson on Livestream sound. And tonight on Room Sound, we have Jeff Laughinghouse, who is on leave from his normal on-the-road job where he is a sound tech for many, many Nashville and national musicians such as Mary Chapin Carpenter, other people. Sometimes Pony cameraman Todd McPhail was assisting Jeff earlier tonight. Thank you, Todd. Todd and Dakota just produced a very nice set of videos for Jonathan Bird in my yard, and called 4 Poems. Follow Jonathan Bird on Facebook or YouTube to see those videos. So you can support this show and others by going to PayPal or Venmo. That's going to be one of my jobs tonight, is begging you for money. So there's a lot of people involved in this show, a lot of tech people and quite a few musicians. Not as many. We usually have 17 to 20. Tonight we have 10 musicians, 2 who are coming via technology and satellite or whatever it's called. And and then we have this wonderful crew, the Wild Ponies and Jeff and the ArtsCenter to support. So please be generous, as I know you all are, with your support. And you can find that on the frame of whatever you're looking at, if you're looking at either Facebook or YouTube. And we also have a lot of Facebook watch parties. So feel free to follow that. And we've got a bunch of people manning our phones, so don't send anything that you don't want anybody to see. This is a good time for me to introduce everybody. We're going to start with Martha Bassett. She's over here. We go, Martha Bassett. Woohoo! I'm going to give a bigger introduction about Martha in a minute. She's going to be your MC tonight. And then Jeffrey Dean Foster from the Triad as well. And he's coming to us all the way from Greensboro, Winston-Salem area. So thank you, Jeffrey Dean. And then our usual suspects, just like old times from behind the curtain, here they come. There's Danny, Hank, Jim Watson, Jan. It's like the clown car. They just keep coming. I know there's more people. I know there's more people back there. There's David. David Burney. Barry Gray. Anybody else? Oh, FJ. Ventre. The hardest working man in show business. And I think that's everybody. So I'm going to turn it over to Martha, but we're going to start off with a big roaring sing-along. So do sing along at home. person. We're going to move things around a lot tonight, just so you know. Ooh, I got to get my special words. So I'd like to introduce Martha Bassett, who has the Martha Bassett Show. And we're so thrilled that she's here tonight with us as in person, live, in a beautiful red dress and cool black boots. We were backstage talking about cool boots. And Martha has been making music in North Carolina since the mid-90s as a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. And she's based in Winston-Salem, and Martha has released 9 records to date. Currently, she hosts and curates the Martha Bassett Show at the Reeves Theater in Elkin, North Carolina, which features national, regional, and local artists of varying genres, that's French, genres, in collaboration with one another. The Martha Bassett Show is also broadcasted weekly on 88.5 WFDD, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Over to you, Martha, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rebecca. This is my first time here, so thank you for your warm welcome. I'd like to do a song by Ventre. Thank you. next guest went to school at Carolina, and while he was there, he started a band called Mipso. They've spent the last 7 years touring full-time and making 5 records. They've just recently released a new record on Rounder Records. Joining us remotely from Durham is our special guest, Joseph Terrell. He'll be performing a song from another UNC grad named James Taylor. So please welcome Joseph Terrell singing Home by Another Way.
Hey Circle Show folks, my name's Joseph Terrell, and I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I did want to share a song with you virtually here. This is a song that I grew up loving, for better or for worse, a James Taylor song called Home by Another Way. Those magic men, the Magi, some people call them wise, or Oriental Eastern kings. Well, anyway, those guys, they visited with Jesus, and they sure enjoyed their stay. Then warned in a dream of Herod's scheme, they went home by another way. Best to go home by another way, home by another way. You got to figure the gods say and play the odds, and tomorrow is another day. But we can make it another way. Safe home, as they used to say, to keep a weather eye to a chart on high and go home another way. Steer clear of royal welcomes, avoid a big to-do. A king who'd slaughter the innocent, will not cut a deal for you. Yeah, he really wants those presents. He'll comb your camel's fur until his boys announce they've found trace amounts of your frankincense, gold, and myrrh. It's best to go home by another way, home by another way. Got this far on a lucky star, but tomorrow is another day. We can make it another way. Safe home, as they used to say, so keep a weather eye to a chart on high and go home another way. Home is where they want you now. You can more or less assume that you'll be welcomed in the end. Don't let King Herod haunt you now, or fantasize his features when you're looking at a friend. Well, it pleases me to be here to sing this song tonight. They tell me that life is a miracle, and I figure that they're right. But Herod's always out there, he's got your card on file. It's a lead pipe cinch if you give an inch. Old Herod's gonna take a mile, unless you go home by another way, home by another way. Maybe me and you can be wise men too, go home by another way. We can make it another way. Safe home, as they used to say, so keep a weather eye to a chart on high and go home another way.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Jim Watson. Jim was a founding member of the Red Clay Ramblers, has played bass with Robin and Linda Williams, and is a member of the Piedmont Melody Makers. Jim. I would also like to take this opportunity to introduce a couple of fellows who will be on the stage for almost all of the music today. On the fiddle, Johannsen was born and raised in Sweden. He's been part of the bluegrass community ever since the mid-'80s when he came over to the U.S. to be close to the well of bluegrass music. His career spans more than 35 years as an educator within the field of acoustic music. He's performed and recorded with many well-known artists, including Tony Rice, Bobby Hicks, J.D. Crowe, Vassar Clements, Chubby Checker, and David Grisman. His passion for music has taken him to stages in the U.S., Canada, Europe, and Japan. So, Jan.
Thank you, Lotte.
Last but not least, on the upright bass, F.J. Ventre left Massachusetts in 2000 and headed down to North Carolina at the behest of his good friend and former high school classmate, John Shane. F.J., seduced by the promise that the water tasted like wine and that he would find work as a musician, soon found that the water tasted merely okay, but the vibrant music scene in the Triangle was everything he could have asked for. He and John are still duo partners, and they work together out of FJ's Good Luck Studio, producing music for some of North Carolina's finest. F.J. Ventre. So Jim Watson is going to lead us in the next song. This is a Ralph Stanley classic, Christmas Times. Nope, sorry. This is not a Ralph Stanley classic. This is I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. Will you tell us a little bit about this song?
Yeah, Martha. The words to this it comes from a poem written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And Longfellow, during the Civil War, his wife had just died, and he was all bummed out about being a Civil War. And he came out of his house on Christmas Day and heard the church bells ringing. And so he wrote this poem that was later put to music. And this is really one of my favorite Christmas carols. And I'm really happy to have Hank and Danny and Jan and FJ backing me up on this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sweet the words repeat of peace on earth.
Now, as they would say on Monty Python's Flying Circus, now for something completely different. This is a country Christmas classic by Buck Owens. It will remind you a little bit of another song. This is Buck's own version. Santa looked a lot like Daddy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. It's not the way I had him pictured. Santa was much too thin. He didn't come down the chimney, so Mama must let him in. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. Well, I thought that I was fast asleep and he thought that I was tucked in bed. They didn't think I'd come and creep. Then I'd hear what was said. Santa put his arm around Mama. Mama put her arm around him. Well, if Santa Claus ain't Daddy, I'm gonna tell on him. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. It's not the way I had him pictured. Santa was much too thin. He didn't come down the chimney, so Mama must have let him in. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. Well, I thought that I was fast asleep and we'll start that verse again. Back to the one, boys. Well, I never saw Prancer, Dancer. Never heard the sleigh bells ring. I never saw the red-nosed reindeer like it showed on the TV screen. But he sure bought a lot of presents, so Santa Claus must have been. But he really looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. It's not the way I had him pictured. Santa was much too thin. He didn't come down the chimney, so Mama must have let him in. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. Well, Santa looked a lot like Daddy. Daddy looked a lot like him. Thank you.
Next up is Hank Smith. Hank is a resident of Raleigh, North Carolina, but a native of Florence, South Carolina. He plays full-time in Hank, Patty, and the Current, a left-of-center string band that melds classical influence with a soulful bent. They have 4 albums out on Robust Records. During the quarantine, Hank has been composing 24 preludes for string quartet and banjo. And a fun fact about Hank, he has no formal music education, but he does have a master's degree in Middle Eastern history from Winthrop University. Hank, tell us what you'll be performing for us.
I'll be playing first a basically unfinished original tune. This is an experiment. Thank you for all being my guinea pigs and all of you out there in TV land. We'll see how this goes. I may have bitten off more than I can chew with this, but we'll find out. You be the judge, roast me on the internet. And the other tune is a beloved Christmas classic that needs no introduction, so I'll just bust into it when it's time and you'll know what it is. So, here's the first one, an untitled original tune in A flat major.
you, Hank. Well, all the way from Winston-Salem, it is my pleasure to introduce my friend Jeffrey Dean Foster. Long before the Americana movement even had a name, he was synthesizing folk, rock, and roots music with such bands as The Right Profile, The Carnies, and The Pine Tops. In the 1980s, The Right Profile was signed by Clive Davis, and he spent the last decades recovering from that brush with the record biz. Since then, he has released 3 critically acclaimed albums, written and scored movie soundtracks, and played shows all over the country with the likes of Bob Dylan, Alex Chilton, Jimmy Dale Gilmore, the Cowboy Junkies, Levon Helm, Ian Hunter, and Steve Forbert. Please give a warm welcome to our special guest, Jeffrey Dean Foster.
Thank you, Martha Bassett. Thank you, folks. It is a real honor to play with all of these guys and gals here. They're some deep musicians here. This is a song I wrote quite a few years ago called So Lonesome I Can Fly. And Martha's sung with me a few times, and Rebecca's going to join me tonight, too. I know this song seemed to be apropos for this year and this time of year, this particular Christmas. So here we go. When we started out, I had a few companions. When we started out, I had some confidence. Things break down and rust, sitting jacked up in the dust. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. Gonna take off and burn up in the sky. Gonna leave these rusty shoes behind. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. When we started out, my words flowed like water. When we started out, my courage overflowed. Now you're deaf and I'm dumb. I made a straw and chewing gum. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. Gonna take off and burn up in the sky. Gonna leave these rusty shoes behind. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. Good times come and go, but mostly they just go away. Like cool, cool water. Like cool, cool water. Like cool, cool water. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. Gonna take off and burn up in the sky. Gonna leave these rusty shoes behind. I'm so lonesome I could almost fly. I'm so lonesome I
Jeffrey Dean.
Thank you kindly.
So while they get
Thank
set
you,
up for
guys.
this next song, I'm just going to beg everybody out there in TV land, as Hank called it, to please, please donate through Venmo, PayPal. Look on the screen, shows you exactly how to get there. And if you're in a watch party, all those lovely people manning our phones or womaning our phones are going to also beg you for Venmo and PayPal money to pay for all this stuff tonight. So thank you, and just also remember to support the Arts Center always. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. And this is one of my favorite Christmas songs, written by Robbie Robertson. And I think everybody's going to help me out on this one a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down to the manger, see the little stranger, wrapped in swaddling clothes, a Prince of Peace. Wheels start turning, torches start burning, the whole wise men journey from the east. How a little baby boy bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. A shepherd on a hillside, where over my flock I abide. On a cold winter night, a band of angels sing. In a dream I heard a voice, said, fear not, come rejoice. It's the end of the beginning, praise the newborn King. How a little baby boy could bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Saw it with my own eyes, written up in the sky. But why a simple herdsman such as I? And then it came to pass, he was born at last, right below the star that shines on high. How a little baby boy could bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Oh, son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Tonight must be tonight. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Jeffrey Dean Foslom. We're Originally from upstate New York, Danny Gotham's career meandered through many genres and many bands before he made his way south to pursue a master's degree at UNC Chapel Hill. Danny currently teaches guitar and performs regularly both locally and with the likes of performers such as Tom Paxton. Welcome, Danny. What will you be playing for us tonight?
Guitar.
And he's a comedian.
I didn't do very well as a comedian, so I'll stick with the guitar. I'm gonna sing one. This will surely be the highlight of the show because no one can sing any better than I can. So, and I'm gonna do it with a mask on to prove to you that you too can sing with a mask on. Long time ago, you used to go down to a department store called W.T. Grant, and you would buy these things called LPs, records, and W.T. Grant had this album of Christmas songs. It cost $1. And one of the songs on there was The Star Carol, sung by Simon and Garfunkel. Are we ready, Mr. Barry?
I'm ready.
Gotta get my voice warmed up. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Here it goes. Years ago, on a cool winter's night, high in the heavens, a star shone bright. While in the manger, wee baby lay, sweetly asleep on a bed of hay. Jesus our Lord was a baby so small, laid down to sleep in a humble stall. Laid the star and it stood overhead, shedding its light round his little head. Dear baby Jesus, how tiny thou art, I'll make a place for thee in my heart. And when the stars in the heavens I see, ever and always I'll think of thee.
Thank you, Danny. That was beautiful. Barry Gray has been playing music for many years with his family band Gray Matters. In 2017, he won the NSAI Songwriters Showdown in Winston-Salem and was awarded the 2018 North Carolina Arts Council Artist Fellowship in Songwriting. Several years ago, when he was invited to play Danny Gatton's Circle Show, he was introduced to many amazing musicians. Thus, the Bennies were born, a Chapel Hill band made up of Circle regulars. Barry will be singing a holiday favorite made famous by Bing Crosby in 1943. This is I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Hey, hey. After a quick tune, The Hazards of Capo 7. you can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe, presents under the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dreams. If only in my dreams. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I was thinking about Hank being an expert in Middle Eastern history. I'm going to put him to the test. Whoops.
Compared to the rest of
Oh, yeah. He's got a master's in it, but he's a master, but not an expert, he says. I wondered what happened during that Ottoman Empire. But anyway, we'll talk about that some other day.
This is fast becoming one of my favorite Christmas songs.
It's a good one. It's a very good one. Very great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not that I wrote it.
Yeah, too bad you didn't write it. It's all right. You picked it.
I did pick it.
Yes.
This is Christmas for Cowboys. It's tall in the saddle. We spend Christmas Day driving the cattle over snow-covered plains. All of the gifts are given today. Ours is the sky and the wide open plains. Back in the city, they have different ways. Football and eggnog and Christmas parades. I'll take the blanket, I'll take the reins. It's Christmas for cowboys and wide open plains. cowboys and wide open plains. It's tall in the saddle. We spend Christmas Day driving the cattle over snow-covered plains. So many gifts have been opened today. Ours is the sky, the wide open range. It's Christmas for cowboys, and wide open plains.
Very great.
Thank you.
I also like to point out that Barry doesn't have on a plaid shirt tonight, first time ever. So.
Well, it was plaid, but it's so cold outside, the stripes fell off.
Oh.
But,
Well, I know you all have already met Rebecca Newton, but I think she deserves a proper introduction.
Ooh, I got a proper introduction. First time ever.
Well, you know that Rebecca and Peg Parham have been the people putting all this together, so thank you for that. And I've been a fan of Rebecca's for a very long time, so this is thrilling to me to be able to work with her tonight. Rebecca has been labeled North Carolina's music impresario by journalist Jack Bernhardt. A North Carolina music veteran since 1975, she's played with just about everybody and is currently working on a special project, Riding Ponies to the Moon, with musical collaborator Bill McCarthy. Ponies is a companion record to her first novel, a simple but kind gesture on what was an otherwise ordinary day, which she hopes, which she hopes to have completed by the time she's 100. I think you have a little bit of time left.
I think I'll get there.
The record, however, will be out next year, 2021. Please welcome Rebecca Newton singing the great Joni Mitchell song, The River.
Thank you, Martha, for such a wonderful intro. Barry's actually going to be singing most of this, but it's okay. I'm going to be singing along. That's right.
I'm actually just going to be lip syncing.
So we got the record. We got Jonny backstage. All right. I think this is the first thing we ever did together on this stage.
It is.
Oh.
It is.
Oh.
Hello.
I know. A little melancholy, a little sentimental. With Danny.
It's coming on Christmas, cutting down trees, putting up reindeer, singing songs of joy and peace. I wish I had a river I could skate away. It doesn't snow here, stays pretty green. I'm gonna make a lot of money, gonna quit this crazy scene. I wish I had a river I could skate